We gotta go.
And
5
we
o'clock.
are live. We are live.
We are live, everybody. We are live from the west side and the south side and
Central
We're
Cali.
live.
the central side and
Yes, sir.
every side. So glad to have you guys back.
Thank you
We
for
got
Thanks for
inviting me
the
having us.
once more.
Okay, we're live
Cryptid
with
559 crew. So,
Thank you for having
and
us.
we're gonna get some updates from Cryptid.
Yes, sir. We got some new stuff going on here in this area. Of course, we got the fires going on, and everything's being pushed down.
Central
So
Cali.
he's on a delay, right?
Every side.
yeah, yeah.
Hello.
So you'll probably see him like that a lot.
Okay.
Frozen.
All right.
So unfortunately, his normal computer is down, and
Okay.
he's working off of the basics here. So,
All
but
right.
he's here. He gets an A for attendance.
Let's call him Stiff North County.
Yep.
No, Chris is just being funny.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to, man?
We've been trying to get out there, but again, these fires, man, we've been going crazy out here. It's been bad. Smoke all over the valley, and it gets trapped in here in the valley. Got ash falling everywhere.
It's orange outside.
Yeah.
We went to Fresno a little while ago, and I mean, it's a big old plume of red fog. Further out, further out as you go into Fresno, it clears up a little bit. But in the general area where we live, it's just red, like an orange. I know a lot of the news have been covering it as to how bad it is. I mean, pretty much the way you see it on the news, that's pretty much how it is on our end.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's the same thing here, man. It's really orange. You walk out in the evening and stuff, and it's just like, whoa, it's like a whole nother world. Wake up in the morning, there's ashes all over your car and stuff like that. And
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
you went up to my spot and up in elevation, you could really smell it. You know, you can actually smell the burning,
Yeah.
and it was pretty intense. But you know, we Californians have an extra season. That's fire season.
Yeah.
You know, we don't
Yeah.
really have a winter or fall, kind of a spring, but we're mostly all summer and fire season. So
Yeah.
just kind of goes with the territory, you know. But
Yeah, kind of like me down here with the hurricanes. You know, if the hurricanes would not be so massive with rain, hopefully the rain would shift y'all way and put it out. You know, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
With mass destruction, with everything.
yeah.
So I don't know what we talked about since last time. We put up some trail cams, and we did a video on it. We captured some stuff. That was our first time putting up trail cams at Pictograph Mountain, and we put 3 of them out in that mountain area at different locations of that mountain. And on one of them, in the video, you can see that there was some. I don't know if it could be dust, or it could be bugs, but there was like orbs coming in. Something triggered that camera to go off. You can see, they look like orbs, but again, it could be bugs or it could be a dust. But also on that same camera, there was another image, another recording of something that came into the screen. It looked like a little hand. But I don't, one of my friends said it could be to him, it looked like a deer face, but something stuck to his, what do you call them? Like he had something stuck to the horns or the hooves, the horns, but it kind of was distorted. But I mean, you could also it looks like a hand, but like with primitive clothing,
Right.
So
Right.
I don't, I don't know what it was. I know there is turkey vultures up there. It could have been a bird, but it didn't seem like feathers. Like at the tail end, it didn't look like feathers.
Yeah, it looked more like cloth. That's for sure. Like a primitive hand,
Yeah, and
hand
yeah,
sewn leather, sleeve or something.
like a
You know.
sleeve, correct? Like a sleeve, like a covering, like an arm cover.
Right.
Yeah, but I
Right.
don't know. I mean, it wasn't a good. It did move in the video. It does move a little bit, but
Yeah, you see it move, but I mean, how often do you guys get deer down there? All the
uh,
time, or is it just
in
few and
that
far between?
far between in that area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cattle around there that we've seen. Um, in that was it that particular camera
Mhm.
that was shut off at
Oh
like
no,
a no, that was another one.
that's the one by the avocado tree. So this one was by the cattle area. The one I'm
The
talking
one that
about.
was shaking.
The one that was no, that one's by the avocado tree.
Okay.
That's in the center. This one was by the cattle, by the corrals, but there was no cattle out there. That's the thing. When we went to put up the camera, there was no cattle out there. They're out in the mountains somewhere, out and about. But when I picked up the camera, there was nothing around either. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, the rest we've I've been out there. Jesus hasn't been out there at a night, early investigation, early morning investigation. I've been out there with a couple other guys um, that have gone with me to this area, and we were out there at 4 in the morning in this particular spot, and we heard stuff and we felt stuff that was around us. Uh, it's just that whole area, the whole mountain area is just crazy. And we picked up EVPs on that when I was out there on that recording. There's EVPs that I got on the recordings, and you could clearly hear them. Some of them it sounds like native talking, and the other one you can clearly hear saying, what was it? I can't even remember what it said.
It was like a phrase, something to do with water.
Did
Yeah,
it say like Kaloon or?
I don't know. I can't remember, Christy. It was. You might want to go check out that video so you can hear the EVPs.
Okay.
But I enhanced the EVP so you can hear them.
Okay.
And one of them was you can clearly hear it like, hurry, hurry, we gotta go, or something like that. But you can just hear it come in and then go out. Like, what? And clear, of course, I didn't hear it when I was out there. I didn't hear any of that. It wasn't us. We were separated from each other, and it's not us talking. It's not our voice. That was crazy.
Oh, I bet so. That's
I
really,
want to get
really
one of those.
cool.
So, in the other camera, I didn't put it in the video, but the other camera that we had by the avocado tree, that camera would record from 9:30 in the morning to 6:30, or 6ish, or 5:30ish, and then it won't even come on till the next day until like 8:30, 9. And the settings, I didn't set it like that. It's not set to do that. So it didn't record at all for the night, at all, any of the nights. It was out there for 3 days. It didn't record no night at all. So something like shut it off. And I don't know. The settings aren't. We didn't set them up like that.
Right. I'll be the first to tell you, man. These beings, they could definitely manipulate electronic devices. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I've heard that, and now I'm starting to believe that, because it's like we didn't set it like that. And for 3 consecutive nights, it did that. And when
Yeah.
in the evening, when I went to go pick it up, it was already in the evening, and it was recording me picking it up, taking it off the tree, and putting it in the truck. So it was recording. It was
Right.
working. But for those 3 nights it was out there, it shut off at 6 o'clock, around 6ish. It wouldn't start recording again until like 9ish in the morning.
I think Lewis actually had issue with his camera too, like that too. Wouldn't work at night for some reason,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, he checked all the settings, and he's like, "There's no reason why it shouldn't work at night." He even went in the closet with it. Works fine. Didn't change the settings or nothing. You know, works fine. So, and I've been out there where I've had mysterious photos pop up on my cell phone, and I don't take photos out there. I only do video.
Yeah. I heard about that too. Your camera sometimes takes pictures all by itself.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's, you know, theorized that because they're at such a higher energy level, you know, that they can manipulate that kind of stuff, you know. So pretty weird stuff out there, let me tell you. There's a lot more to this world than what people think there is.
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
Oh, there's my friend Pat. What did he do?
I don't know. So,
I didn't do that. Louis did that. I'm commenting on my phone.
well, let's talk a little bit about that. What were you doing? You were out there at what, Avocado Lake area, and that thing was behind you, watching you.
The dog man? Is that what you want to talk
Was
about?
that a dog man?
Well, it had a head of a dog. I mean,
That sounds like a dog man.
it looked like a head of a dog to me.
That thing was massive.
Yeah, it looked like it resembles that. What Christy's showing you right there, it resembled that. You know, exactly
Right.
like that. I saw the fangs. I saw the pointed ears. I saw the muzzle, the snout. I mean, people say it could be a baboon. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't. The prints that I found after that encounter,
No,
they
it's gotta be a dog man.
They look canine. They don't look human. They're not a human type foot. It's canine, a big canine print.
Yeah.
It's not. It's yeah. Exactly.
Did you measure any of the prints?
At the time, I didn't. I put my cell phone next to it, and the cell phone's about 3 inches long, so you can go off of that. But I had my cell phone at that time. I didn't think I was going to find a print, and sure enough,
Right.
because we went the next day. But because it didn't go where I found the print, it didn't go that way. It went up the hill, and that hill is private property. And I heard that those owners carry rifles and they're on horseback, and they don't want nobody in that property. So it's like,
Right.
man, I wanted to go in there because I know there was prints up there, and I can follow the trail. And
There is a trail.
There is a trail up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like it's been coming up and down that hillside for quite some time. If there was a pretty defined trail, you know.
Yeah.
And even recently, we've gone out there just to scope it out, and there's along the river ridge, there's a steep incline, and you can tell that something's going up and down that incline. And it can be a fisherman, it can be people. It has to be some sort of big animal that has enough strength to climb that ridge. It's baffling because I did, and I did a rough estimate of the incline, and it's about a 200% incline from point A to point B. So that there is no way a person would be doing any attempt to climb it, because they'll fall straight back. There's no way. And when we do get near it, we try not to disturb it as much, but you can tell that the prints are not human. They look like it's a big animal, but again, we haven't been able to determine what type of animal makes those kind of prints.
Yeah.
That might be a good place to deploy your game cam next time.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what his sis was saying. Yeah,
But
You
the
know,
thing is
what-
that there's so many fishermen that go out there. We're
Yeah.
afraid that they might come across it and tamper with it, and then we might lose the cameras. And I mean, sometimes it's been very hard to make that decision because again, these cameras are very expensive, and we would hate to lose a piece of equipment like that is so vital to the research.
Right, right. Yeah, it's kind of, it's one thing and stuff when you're miles out in the woods and you know that no one's going to be there.
Yeah.
But when you're in areas such as yourself and me and Lewis and stuff where people are everywhere,
yeah.
I mean, they see a camera, they're
And,
just gonna take it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it got them on camera anyway, bull, because now they have the camera.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So
and people don't realize that when we're seeing this stuff, it's not near a park. It's near a park. It's a heavily populated area. You know.
right on the fringe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right on the
People don't
fringe.
believe us. They don't believe us that no, they're up in the hills, they're up higher up in the mountain. No, they're not. No,
I've said for years, man. They're in our backyards. They're watching us all the time.
and
You know what I mean?
we have areas that are just outside of the towns, just outside or inside the town. And people, it's people, it's people. No, it's not people. It's not.
No.
You can tell when it's a person. You can tell. If you go out and do this, you go boots on the ground, you go out there over and over, you're gonna know it's not people. You're gonna know it's something else.
Yeah.
Right.
They got signs
Exactly.
of things.
Yep.
You just gotta
Yeah,
have the
you'll definitely
eye,
know
the
that.
knowledge to see it.
Right.
Exactly.
If you don't know what you're looking for, you won't find
Common
it.
sense.
And I've been out and done experiments just on general human population and their lack of, how do I put this nicely, their surroundings. I mean, I went up in the mountains one time. I literally sat 10 feet off of a very, very populated trail. And no one saw me except for one person. And that person was a 5-year-old little boy. And he even said, Mommy, there's someone up in the bushes right there. And she's all, oh, no, there's not. Didn't even look in that direction. Didn't even look. Oh, no, there's not. Come on, let's go. Generally, I mean, even in my area, I mean, I'm out in the open. All they have to do is literally turn their head. I'm literally 20 feet off the trail. And if you don't move, they don't see you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm standing right here. All you got to do is just go, and you'll see me. And they don't. They just straight ahead,
Okay, we have a question for y'all. Butch wants to know if any of y'all got zapped before.
I believe I have.
There's tattoos.
I believe I have. And let me explain to you guys what happened.
Yes.
There was a nighttime investigation that we were doing out on a road nicknamed Snake Road. I don't remember exactly the name of it, but we were conducting a nighttime investigation to see what was out there. I know there's been a lot of reports of like paranormal activity, some strange sounds, strange creatures around that general area. And so we get there in the late evening. It's around 9 o'clock. I don't remember the exact time, but we get there. We're a group of guys. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna take this serious. As soon as I get there, I feel the urge that I needed to relieve myself. So I broke off from the group and I did my thing several feet away from the group. But at the same time, as I was doing that, I felt like I had crossed the boundary line that I wasn't supposed to by relieving myself. So
Mark
um,
territory.
soon after, I come back to where the group is at. I'm washing my hands, and we hear this sonar type kind of noise. And as we, we wouldn't think nothing of much of it, but we did find it strange. We're like, what is that? What would cause that kind of noise? Because it was extremely loud and it echoed throughout our general area. So, that we found that to be very interesting, but we carried on with our nighttime investigation. We were walking down this road and I lost control of my bladder. I was not able to retain any liquids. I would probably do maybe 5 to 10 steps, and I felt the urge of leaving myself. And I did this for a good
The whole
maybe
time we were there.
maybe what 2 hours,
Yes,
and
yeah.
I mean it was bad, and I had never experienced that. And I was telling Javier while we were out there with the group, like, man, I feel so embarrassed. This has never happened to me. What are they gonna think that that this is us when we're out here all the time? But at the moment, I really didn't put two to two together. I think the following day, we got together, Javier and myself, to go over what had happened to me that night. And then he started talking to me about infrasound and what infrasound was. Because I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're investigating, I'm new to it as well. So we approach it in a very open-minded kind of way. So I started researching what infrasound was and what are some of the symptoms and the side effects of it, and pretty much everything that people had talked about, I was experiencing. So personally, I feel that I have been zapped in the past by some sort of creature or entity that felt me relieving myself in their territory as a sign of disrespect or me challenging them. So now when we've been able to go out, I try to do my thing before going, because I am not messing around with anybody's territory, because I've experienced the snapping or the infrasound, and honestly, it's a terrible feeling. I would hate to experience that once more. uh, till this day, I have not wanted to go back to that road. Not in the evening, not in the day, not in the morning, because it really shook me that much that I don't feel. I know there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something there. And it's very strong to the point where, it can mess with you. And I'm glad, I honestly, that I feel that it was just a mild symptom. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah, and I was watching him throughout the night, and seeing him go through this, and it was painful for me to watch him do this, because I felt bad for the guy, and so we had to cut our investigation short. So about that time we were wrapping it up, I had to take the other guy, my other friend, back to home. So we got to his place about 12:30 in the morning. So it's about 30 minutes from where we live to Fresno. So we headed back, and by the time we got to Jesus's house, it was about one ish, a little bit after one. So I was watching him as he got out of the car. He was still disoriented. He didn't feel
Yes.
well. And I told him, dude, I'll take you to the hospital if you need to go. He goes, no, 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 I'll be all right. I remember him telling me everything. I'll be okay. I just got to go lay down. I'm like, all right. So I saw him go open the door to his house. He went inside the house, closed the door, and I took off. By that time, I got home about a little after 2 o'clock in the morning, and that was it. I knocked out, and then next morning I talked to Jesus to see how he was feeling, and he asked me, "Hey, what time did you drop me off?" And I go, "About two-ish, a little after 2 o'clock in the morning." He goes, "Dude, I got to the bedroom, and his wife got yelled at him because it was 4:30 in the morning." At 4:30, I go, dude, I dropped you off at a little just after 2 o'clock in the morning. What happened to you? He goes, dude, I don't remember. Well, you tell me. He goes, I don't remember.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember. I remember clearly being dropped off, walking into my home, walking walking through my living room and straight into my bedroom. When I was dropped off at 2, between the time I was dropped off, by the time I got into my bedroom, there to me it seems like there's some missing time. I kind of feel it because I mean, Javier tells me, "Hey, I dropped you off like around 2:30," and I remember clearly going into my bedroom and looking at the alarm clock, and it was 4 in the morning.
So
I
where'd
mean,
you go?
yeah, exactly. And
Where'd you go? What'd you do? You know,
I don't remember. I really don't remember. The only thing I remember is going through my living room, walking down my hallway into my bedroom, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, my kids make fun of me all the time. They're like, "Hey, you went on a space ride. You want?" Yeah, they give me they yank on my leg for a little bit, but honestly, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it. And the reason why I say that is, um, not too long ago, again, before we knew anything about blue lights or strange occurrences or missing time, we had my son, both him and I, had experienced a blue beaming light, a light illuminating a whole street down our street, which was kind of weird because it was like a teal blue beam coming from the sky, but there was no helicopter, there was no source for that light. But we remember seeing this blue light just illuminating the street. Now, I mean, again, going back to what I said before, did I cross a line that a being was disrespected, and this was their form of saying, "Hey, do this again, and this is what's going to happen to you." But honestly, if it wasn't for me asking Javier, I believe it was the following day, like, "Hey, what time did we get home?" I wouldn't have found out. I really wouldn't have. Now I know he's asked me, "Hey, did you like get home and crash out on the couch?" I can't remember any of that. And honestly, what I do recall adamantly is just walking from my front door through my living room into my bedroom. So I mean, there's some lost time there. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 hours missing.
Have you ever thought about hypnosis?
I have, but I mean, with this whole thing, it's been kind of difficult.
Right. It's put the damper on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you know, what I feel we could continue to do is just continue to go out there and research and document all this information, because I mean, it may not make sense right now, but later down the road it will make sense.
Yeah.
We just have to connect the dots.
You just got to collect all the pieces of the puzzle and just put them all in the same bag, and eventually you're like, "Hey, these two go together."
Yeah.
Oh, that one goes there. Oh, and that one goes there, and you're like, now I'm starting to figure it out. So now you're getting armed with more information.
Yeah.
And the investigations are going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, it's interesting that Jesus said he's experienced a blue light or a blue beam, because when we were out there on Snake Road, when we heard that whistle, to me it sounded like a whistle, a high pitched whistle, echoing through the whole area, had like a wave effect to it, and like echoed. It was a crazy sound. But I remember when we bring up the whistle, well, I call it a whistle, I see a blue light. I see a blue light in the sky. And it's interesting that he says that he's been experiencing blue lights out where he is at. It's interesting. And I didn't have any issues. My friend, the partner that we had out there with us, He didn't have any issues that night or anything else. But what happened to me, and I haven't,
That's weird.
I haven't told you guys. I told Jesus about it, but I forget. It's been a while. Um, a week later, I was reviewing the video footage and our voice recorder. So I was reviewing the video footage to hear, because I remember hearing a scream just before the whistle, or a scream or some yell or something like that. So I'm trying to find it on the video. What was that? And I can barely hear the scream, and I can barely hear the whistle. I mean, it should have been able to, as loud as it was that we heard it, it should have been able to capture that. And if you can barely hear it, so it must have been some different frequency. It had to be.
Yeah.
So then I go to the voice recorder that I had going, and again, you can barely hear the whistle. You hear like the end of it. And I'm looping all this, I'm looping it on the voice recorder, and I have my earbuds, and I'm looping it and looping it. I don't know how many times, I'm trying to get that, and I have it on volume all the way up. So then that was Saturday evening. So we went to a football game, came back home, and I didn't drink or anything, no alcohol. Okay, so went back home, went to sleep. About 11:30, we got home. Around 2 in the morning, I woke up because I lost. I didn't have control of my bowels. I lost control of my bowels. It's like, what the heck? And then when I got up from bed, I was all disoriented. I was all dizzy. The whole room was spinning. It's like, what the hell? What's going on? I've never experienced this before. My head was spinning. I barely made it to the restroom again. Um, got out of the restroom. I'm still dizzy. Went back to bed. My wife woke up. Said, what's going on? I told her what happened. It's like, well, maybe you're getting sick or something. Maybe you're coming down with something. I don't know. I've never felt this before in my life. It doesn't feel right. My stomach didn't hurt. It's like, it's crazy. So I laid down, and then it stopped spinning. I fell asleep. Woke up at 7 in the morning. I was fine. I got off the bed and almost fell. Dizzy again. I was all dizzy. The whole room spinning. I was feeling nauseous now. It's like, what's going on? And I never felt like this. So then I told my wife. I woke up my wife. I go, mate. She goes, well, lay down again. Sit down. Lay down, and then I'll make you something to eat. Maybe you need to eat something. So she made me some food, and I was feeling nauseous. I told her, so just sit down, and I'm gonna make you something, eat something. So she made me breakfast. I walked to the kitchen, all dizzy, sat down. As soon as I sat down, it would stop. It would start calming down. So now I was able to eat a little bit. I ate, got off the kitchen, got out of the table, went to the living room, all dizzy again. It's like, dude, as soon as I would stand up, I would get dizzy. Everything would be spinning. Sat on the couch for a little bit until it stopped, and then I started getting nauseous again. Oh man, I started getting nauseous. It's like, I need to throw up, and then I was just turning colors. My wife said, "Man, you're getting pale." And I told her, "Yeah, I'm not feeling well. I don't know what's going on. My stomach doesn't hurt. I'm just dizzy. I'm nauseous now." So go outside and get some air. Go outside. So I went in the backyard. Head still spinning. I sat down, calmed down a little bit, and then I got that. I got it to throw up. I got nauseous again. I told my wife, you know what? I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm not feeling well. By that time, it was like close to 12 o'clock. So I went to bed. I knocked out for about a couple of hours. I was still dizzy when I woke up, got up. So it's like, man, I don't know what to do. And I called my brother. My brother's a paramedic. So I called him up, see what he thought. And he goes, well, your best bet is just to go to ER to get checked out, because I don't know what's going on. Just go get checked out. If this has been going on all day already, just go to ER. I go, man, I don't want to go to the ER. I don't want to go to the hospital. And so what happens? I ended up taking another nap. I woke up at 7, and the head was like, dude, it was still spinning. This is all day now. I mean, this is throughout the whole day, and still dizzy and nauseous. And this time I felt it like I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. I ran to the restroom. My wife was right there. Ran to the restroom, and I just went. Ah! Nothing would come out. Ah! Yeah, I got the feeling like it was coming out. After that, everything stopped.
Dry heaving.
That's
Everything
crazy.
stopped, and that was it. That was fine.
Wow,
The dizziness went away. Everything
that's
went away.
crazy.
So I don't know if what Jesus was,
Damn.
if there was infrasound, and because
What was that
me, I
from
was
zapping? Did you get zapped?
yeah, me reviewing the footage and the audio. If somehow I got zapped, I got zapped.
It could be the high pitch that you heard out there transferred into the video, and
Yeah.
that's what you were hearing,
Yeah.
reviewing the video and reviewing the video and reviewing the
That's
video,
what I'm thinking.
and it still affected you because it's the frequency, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I've experienced loss of memory in pretty well known Bigfoot area. It affects everybody differently, you know, but it is definitely not something to mess around with. That's for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
Definitely.
And even modern day animals like tigers and elephants use it. You know what I mean? They use it for communication purposes. And I mean, if you think about this, that the duck-billed platypus hunts by sensing the minute electrical impulses in its prey's muscles. So if a platypus can do that, where do the possibilities end?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're basically blind underwater. I mean, they're sensing the tiny little electrical impulses that its prey's muscles put off. And our muscles do the same thing. All living animals do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And see, when we got out to that area, that Snake Road, I don't think Jesus and my other friend heard it, but I was hearing it. I had the window rolled down, so it was on my side. Um, I heard yelling, like two individuals yelling back and forth, but it wasn't. It sounded like language, but it wasn't English. It was something else. I couldn't make out words, but they were yelling from one side to the other side, and that's the side that Jesus went and relieved himself on that side of the road where the yelling was coming from. So I don't know what was out there. Something was out there.
yeah, I think definitely in Jesus's situation,
Yeah,
had he just relieved himself on the side of the road he was on, it probably never would have happened.
exactly. Yeah,
But he like he said, he just barely crossed that line. He relieved himself, which is a territorial thing that we know of.
yeah,
So if it's the same for whatever was on the other side of that veil,
yeah.
they probably took it the same way.
And Jesus, didn't you say that just before we left, you went again in the same area, didn't you? But you smelled something that you noticed that there was some.
It was a different scent. Yes. I don't remember exactly what the scent was, but it was definitely not a scent that I could recall or explain. But around the area where I, relieved myself, there was another type of scent. And I mean, again, going back and just putting two to two together, I mean, it could be possible that there was something there and it witnessed me, relieve myself, and it took offense to me doing that. So, it zapped me, and then it went back and it marked its own territory back to, hey, this is my territory, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd that you relieved yourself, urinating, and then throughout the entire night, that was the problem you were having.
Yes,
So it almost seems like something was trying to get a message over.
exactly.
Yeah, like you did that over there, and now you're going to do it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And that road has been a hotspot for paranormal for a long time. Dogman, Sasquatch, the Weeping Lady, they call it La Llorona in Spanish. A lot of sightings of that in that area. So a lot of stuff going on in that area. A lot of paranormal stuff going on.
UFOs.
UFOs, and there's power lines that go through that area also. So it just
Yeah.
amps up the electromagnetic field too. So
Right. Have you done any research about ley lines and stuff like that in your
I
area?
can't find anything. I cannot find
Yeah.
anything. I'm trying to
It's interesting that you can't find anything. They probably don't want people to have that bit of information.
yeah.
So,
But before all this happened, we were, and we do have maps, and we're trying to plot them out here so that at least we have that for our reference. But because of this whole virus thing, it's just been so hard to go out there. I mean, there's limitations that I have that I can't, that prevent me from being up there exploring and investigating still. So I'm taking it, taking it easy because I don't want to hurt myself. But I mean, that is in our to-do list, plotting out some ley lines. Currently, we're investigating another area a few miles away from Pictograph Mountain. I believe we talked about it in the previous podcast, where there's been some very interesting rock formations or stacks that it's almost impossible for it to be natural. So we've been trying to get access to those locations, but again, it's just been so hard with the property owners being very territorial of their property and protective of the property, which is understandable. But at the same time, like for us, that we're just trying to investigate, learn a little bit more as to what went on in their properties. There's this new area that we're calling it the Lizard Tail Mountain. The reason why we called it that was because there's a stack of rocks that resemble a lizard tail. It doesn't seem to be natural. It seems like purposely made. The rocks almost they're independent, but they're jointed together or butted up against each other to make what from the road it appears to be a lizard tail.
it's the remnants of what was once a larger structure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
You know, like ruins of something.
Yeah, and the sizes go from tall to short. Like they're all like it's like what?
Yeah, it's too perfect to be
Yeah, exactly.
natural. I mean, there was some type of influence with some type of measuring.
There's got to be something going on. You'll see it in the next video when I put it out. As soon as I'm finished with that video.
Have you asked any of the property owners, if they've seen anything on their property or experienced anything weird?
I've seen them once and I haven't seen them again, and I wasn't able to talk to them, but I haven't seen nobody out there. So it's like we go out there. We've been going out there a few times this week, but nobody's out there.
Huh.
And we don't want to trespass. That's one thing that we respect people's properties, and we would rather have their permission. Let them know, hey, we're up here. We're not going to disturb anything. We're just going to snap some pictures.
We're just exploring.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting location. Again, I mean, there's some erect stones that almost resemble a Stonehenge, and I know Javier has been doing a lot of research on Google Earth around that area, and it's a little manipulated.
Yeah.
They got the brush strokes in certain spots.
Yeah, that's what we see.
Everything else around it is clear.
What we see on the ground is not what it's out there actually. So it's been a little difficult to investigate it using Google Earth. We do have a drone, but the battery shot on it, and we're working on getting a new one for it, so we could send it out there and hopefully get some better images and actual images of what it is that we're seeing. Because, like we said, those stones, I mean, are truly visible from the side of the road, and
But Jesus has a great camera, so he got excellent pictures. He could zoom in pretty close. So in the video, you'll see the pictures. You'll see the pictures.
Nice.
and
Yeah,
it's
you guys
not,
haven't found any hieroglyphs or pictographs up there yet?
No,
we haven't been able to access the east side of the mountain, and we're hoping that we can, once we get access to that side of the mountain or those mountains, that we'll be able to uncover some. We have been doing research on methods on enhancing pictographs or etchings on rocks using distilled water and a spray bottle. So
Right.
we're hoping to be able to uh, use that method to bring out any carvings on the rock or hieroglyphics or pictographs on any particular. We kind of already know the general location of our investigation once we get access to those areas, and we're gonna knock it out once we're able to
yeah.
reach those locations, and hopefully, I mean, there's significant stuff there for us to make another video and put out there. Um, I know on Pictograph Mountain, I mean, there's plenty of drawings that we still haven't been able to determine what the meanings are. What is it that they're trying to convey to us from back then? I know it's not. It might be Native American, or it just might be uh, another tribe that is not known to be here locally. So therefore, we can't decipher what it means. But I'm hoping that, I mean, soon we could you know find out what the meaning of those paintings are.
Right. One thing I've learned about like Indians and or the natives and stuff, they didn't tell stories, like made up stories, you know? They told stories about stuff they saw. So if they're gonna take the time to make all that pigment and draw it onto rocks and stuff, it's something they saw, that's something they experienced. You know, it's not a made up story like we would do now, you know, for a book, you know? So, I mean, it
Yeah.
means something. It means something. It means that something happened. It means that somebody was there or something was there, you know? So,
Yeah. And there's a big old. I mean, we gotta go back there and get better pictures. But there was a big old circle with a huge bird in the middle of it. I mean, it's a huge, huge pictograph painting of it. And I know there's been sightings of thunderbirds. I've heard stories of that around that mountain, UFOs, strange creatures on four legs. So it has its history. It has a lot of stuff going on around that mountain. So there's something there. There's something throughout that whole area.
yeah, don't we have some sort of like Bermuda
Sounds like a
Triangle
lot of something there.
Well,
in
the
Central
the
California?
Nevada Triangle. They call it Nevada Triangle.
Is it the Nevada Triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes, it just, like one of the points comes right into California or something.
Yeah, close to Fresno. Yeah.
Right, right. So,
Yep. So there it
you
is.
know,
Oh, I'm telling Jesus, dude, we got everything that Skinwalker Ranch is dealing with. We got everything over here on where we're at, man. We're just like Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, we got so much stuff going on here.
right,
I agree.
right.
I just heard of the
Mhm.
large bird sightings again. I'm not going to say they're pterodactyl, but somebody from along the river, they saw 7 large birds with red eyes coming down and landing on the tree. But there was 7 of them together, and then and there weren't. He says there were not barn owls. Everybody's telling them they're owls, and they were not owls. I don't know what they were. They had red eyes. They had like a white belly. They were white underneath, huge wingspan, and they were heavy. He said they were heavy. You could tell they were heavy, whatever they were. Because I couldn't see the face, but I could see the red eyes. They didn't have a
Yeah, I
beak,
just heard a recent story about something like that.
and these were 7 of them that he saw, and he got out of there quick.
Yeah, well, with this fires, it will be seeing more of those cryptid creatures escaping the fires, and again, that's why we want to be out there. We want to be able to be out there and deploy these trail cams. So if we do see them, we can at least have evidence. Like here, we got a family of Bigfoots. We have a strange dog man coming down, or whatever the cryptid might be. Because if we're gonna catch something, it's gonna be now with these fires. I mean, we're not very far from the fires, but we're not that close either. But we'll be seeing a lot more of those creatures that,
We're gonna hear a lot of stories coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
Encounters.
Yeah.
And just where I saw my dog man, Avocado Lake area, another one just came out this last week. He was fishing early in the morning out there, and he heard some strange whistling, and it wouldn't stop. It kept whistling, and it was about 10 feet from him. They couldn't see it. They only had a lantern with them, so they couldn't see what was making that whistle. So they got spooked out, and they left. But I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot more stuff happening.
But didn't you have somebody come, or didn't you talk to somebody also in that area that said that they heard or seen weird stuff at Avocado Lake also?
Yeah, there's a video about a farmer that's out there that he witnessed a family of 5 Sasquatch on his property. They crossed right in front of him. He had a whole incident happen. It's on YouTube. You can find it.
Yeah.
He's seen Sasquatch, and I've heard the sheriff department that patrols that area. I've heard off the record, whoever's in charge of that area, they don't like to be in charge of that area because they've seen it, they've encountered stuff, they know there's stuff, crazy stuff out there that happens. They don't like patrolling that area.
I bet when they're going in for roll call and stuff, everyone's got to pick it. There's a certain number that's that section, and they have to draw out of a hat just to make it even. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've heard that my brother actually knows a few of them that are retired now, but they used to go and they had to patrol by themselves, and they hated going to that area. They hated it because they had heard stories and they actually had encounters of themselves. They saw stuff, experienced stuff themselves. So they know it's real.
It'd be crazy to know if they have any dash camera stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're probably not going to tell you if they do or not, but
yeah, and I understand. And I understand they can't say when they're, on the record. They can't because they're working for them. But this couple, that's a couple, and they're retired, and they know. They had told me about another site that we need to go still look for. They told me whereabouts is this area. It's a native site. It's an ancient native site, and there's a bunch of structures out there. And they told me, dude, that place is off the charts, paranormal type stuff. Just be careful if you do go out there. They told us where to go. Just be careful because it is off the charts out there, and it's highly paranormal out there.
Well, I can't wait to see that.
So we still got to go find that area.
I have something to show you. Speaking of what you were saying about the rock structures and the woods. You just ride your bike on the side of the bridge where it was breathing on your sister. But when you was talking about the rock structures and all, like I noticed the glyphs on the ground. Okay, I don't know if you could see. You see that X?
Yeah.
With the stick right here.
Yeah.
Okay, keep that in mind. Let me show you this. All right, and here's another one where it's two sticks with a line, with a stick going straight across like an H, like a sideways H.
Okay.
Okay, but watch this. I want to show you this real quick. This is chemtrails in the sky.
Yeah. Yep. The
Okay.
X's. Oh yeah, we're familiar with chemtrails. Yeah.
Okay, now look at this one.
Same
It's
shape.
like a sideways H.
Yeah.
Yep. You got a point there, Chrissy. Yep.
I got more pictures. I got doubles, but I can't find them. I have to scroll. I got so many pictures. But I noticed that one day. I was like,
No, you got a point there. It's possible that they're mimicking the images in the sky. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, you know, something
we-
with an opposable thumb. You know,
Mm-hmm.
pick up stuff.
Yep. And we made a video on chemtrails here. I mean, they were hot and heavy just before the COVID. I mean, they were heavy. It's always been heavy here, chemtrails, man. It's bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here too.
Oh, yeah.
Here too.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, right?
Yep.
Yep.
But also about the forest fires, they also had a story. I don't know if you heard it about the forest fire. About there was a witness that had saw two paramedics or somebody working on. It looked like a big person. They said it wasn't a human. It was like a hominid, like like a Sasquatch, and it was bandaging up the burnt areas on its arm, and then the people come and took it away. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
I haven't heard that.
I heard something of the sort.
Yeah.
I forget where I heard it, but yeah, apparently it was. I think it was Shasta.
Mount St. Helens had a lot of that stuff in that.
Or yeah, it was Shasta or Mount St. Helens, and
Yeah.
There's a
couple
lot of
of
stories coming out of it.
EMTs were going to help firefighters,
Yes.
and they ended up stopping because something just ran out of the woods and collapsed, and they got out and started tending to this being that they said was better part of 9 feet tall and probably 1,000 pounds, and it had patches of burns all over it. So
Yeah.
but by the time they were done patching it up, another vehicle had pulled up and took it away.
Yeah.
So-
Mount St. Helens, the volcanic eruption, the stories coming out of that area, I mean, those are pretty cool stories. A lot of those
Yeah.
stories. Yeah. About the Bigfoots. They had
Yeah.
brought some Native American in that spoke their language. And I don't know. I mean, it was pretty interesting. And they were able to find some Bigfoots that were alive and take them away. But yeah, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that's
A lot of
nuts.
stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, guys, we are coming up on our hour.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
How are you?
Got any? When can we expect the next video coming out for you?
I'm working on the video right now on that mountain. Hopefully, if not this evening, tomorrow for sure.
Nice,
Maybe
nice,
about a 15, 20-minute video.
Cool.
So,
nice.
and if, I
All
love your
right.
guys' comments. So watch the video, leave comments. I love the comments. I'm not saying we know everything. We don't know everything. We're not professionals.
There are no professionals, man. We're all gathering our pieces of the puzzle.
Correct.
I've got this bunch of pieces. Lewis has this bunch of pieces.
That's
You guys
right.
got these. Now we throw them all out on the table and see where they fit.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all
And-
we're doing. We're just
That's
Thank
right.
you for having me.
That's how it
And I like
works.
to, we all need to work together. We all need to work together and help each other out.
right,
It's a tight community. We need to have a tight community.
right,
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
We're bigger, stronger, and smarter together than we are out on
I
our
agree.
own. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
like a big giant.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you forgot to say about me with my pieces too, even though I'm from
right.
Well, you know
Louisiana.
what I mean.
Uh-huh.
You got
Yeah,
pieces. We
yeah.
know you got pieces. It was implied. It was implied.
You forgot about me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Christy.
You made me feel so lonely.
I'm sorry, but I have no more tissues in my pocket.
Oh, well, that's even great.
Thank you everybody for showing up. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank everybody in the chat. Thank you,
Okay, everyone.
Cryptid559
You're
crew.
welcome. You're welcome.
Can't wait to see what other kind of crazy stuff
Yeah,
you
thank
guys
you, guys.
find next.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys get full access to any properties
I hope so.
that you need to, man. I hope so.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and maybe the homeowners will
Yeah.
open up and be like, there's some weird stuff going on out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I know. A lot of the old timers out there, man. They see weird stuff. They're like, nope, in the house, doors locked by 6. That's it. Yeah, ain't coming out till I see the first rays of the sun coming up the next morning. So,
And it's
so
okay.
everybody, go check out Cryptid559. Got a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of crazy stuff, man. So,
thanks, Jesus, for coming on too.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
sorry
got-
that I left early. I had to go call my dad and check on my mom, so that's
No
why I
problem.
left. I didn't want to be like rude and be like, hey,
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yep.
so
All right, guys.
yep. Everybody have a good night. Be
Likewise.
safe out
Thank you.
there.
All right.
Control your bodily functions.
We'll try.
I'm not making fun. I'm just saying
Yeah.
control your body. Try to. Like,
Yeah.
if you got to urinate, do it on the wheel of the car. Don't walk across the street and do it. You know what I mean?
I don't think Javier would like that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
See ya.
And Lewis, what do we got going on next week?
You guys later. I don't know. I'm working on it right now.
All right. All righty.
All right, I'm going to stop the podcast.
Still working on it.
All right. See y'all later. See y'all next week.
Bye, Kevin.
Good night.
I got to end it.
All right.